Hey Zen fam, it's me. Today we need to have a serious talk. I hate having to make videos of this nature, but 'tis a necessary evil sometimes of being a gaming YouTuber that sometimes we have to discuss some of the less than savoury aspects of our community and our culture. So, what am I referring? Simple as this. You will now see behind me a letter that has been floated around on Twitter and probably other forms of social media. As you can see, it reads, "No, you are not a gamer. I am so sick of all these people who think they're gamers. No, you are not. Most of you are not even close to being gamers. I see people saying, I put well over 100 hours into this game. It's great. That's, in italics, nothing. Most of us could easily put 300 plus into all our games." Right. "I see people who only have Nintendo Switch and claim to be gamers. Come talk to me when you pick up a PS4 controller, then we be friends." Also, in capital letters, "Dear all women, Pokemon is not a real game. Animal Crossing is not a real game. The Sims is not a real game. Here's the kicker. Mario is not a real game. Stardew Valley is not a real game. Mobile games," in large letters again, "not real games." And each one of those words he put a full stop behind. That's not how grammar works, mate. And I'm dyslexic and I know that, alright? Put down the baby games and play something that requires challenge and skill for once. And here's where he really takes the biscuit. Sincerely, all the capital letters, actual gamers. Mate. Or last, and I'm assuming you're a bloke that's wrote this. You couldn't be more wrong, pal. Right? Let's go through some of these points on this damn letter, or op-ed, or whatever you want to call this nonsense digital spaffing up against a wall. Right. So let's see. Put well over 100 hours in a game. You can put 100 hours into a game and hold down a job and be a parent and live life and do all the things you're supposed to do. That is grand. And maybe you don't want to play all the time. Maybe you have, maybe you work out. Maybe you have a sport you play as well. Maybe you also have, try to cram in an active social life, Or you just don't have that much time to game. Maybe you also like reading or whatever. Maybe you have other interests apart from being a gamer. Being a gamer, for some gamers, is not the be-all and end-all of their existence. Don't get me wrong, I love gaming. That's why I started this channel, because I love gaming. I love to talk about gaming. I love gaming. That's just a given, okay? Most of us could easily put 300 plus into all our games. Now, you can maybe put 300 plus hours into a game. But to all our games? I don't think so. You're making that sound as if you have multiple systems and you have all the time in the world. 1, you're either lying. 2, you're either spoiled. 3, you're probably lying and spoiled. And 4, that's just unrealistic. And given your grammatical mistakes, I deem you to be a petulant child. And I don't mean petulant child as a throwaway statement, as I might say about Donald Trump. I mean you're probably just some teenage, kid that just doesn't understand about actual life yet. You actually have to live a life, pay taxes and rent and gas and electricity and clothing and food and commuting costs and all the other joys of life. Maybe then you can have a clue and you can come talk to me about how much time you can put into a game for reals. Okay? And then he starts going on like, what is and isn't a real game? You know what is and isn't a real game? What is a real game is something you can enjoy, something you can put yourself into. Yeah. Right? By your logic, mate, right, by your logic, something like everyone's gone to the rapture isn't a game. But you know what? It is. Motion games are games, right? I can always remember when the mighty Kevin Butler stood on the stage of E3 and said, talked about gaming. Now, admittedly, it was a comedic performance, but like all good comedy, there was truth in there. And he basically said, that motion gamers don't hate on traditional gamers. Because it's like a bloke gets an awesome girlfriend and his mate gets an awesome girlfriend. You know who wins? Everybody. Because they've both got an awesome girlfriend. Now, motion gaming wasn't for everybody, But for some people it was. VR is not for everybody, but for some people it is. RPGs are not for everybody, but for some people they are. Not everybody likes football games. Not everybody likes fighters. Not everybody likes FPS. I could go on, right? Gaming is multifaceted. That is one of the things that makes it great. That is one of the things that makes it superior in entertainment. So when you try and narrow its focus and squish it down and put it in a box and keep it for yourself, you're anti-gaming. You're the problem, right? And then he starts to say what games aren't real games, right? So he says, what's it here? He says, Pokemon. Seriously, Pokemon. Have you seen how many Pokemon video games there have been? He might just be talking about Pokemon Go. But in its essence, that is a game. You're collecting stats, you're managing resources, you are, doing everything you do in a game. You just happen to be doing it on a phone, okay? Games have different structures. Part of the versatility, okay? I'm not a Pokemon guy myself, but I can see the attraction, alright? Animal Crossing, right? That just happens to be a gentle game. Not all games have to be whiz bang boom, or deep stories. Some of them can just be chill experiences where you build a cottage and have a nice time and share things with people. Okay? It doesn't all have to be whoa, and Fortnite and screaming on a live stream to a bunch of 14-year-olds about, look at that kill. It's diverse. It's big. It's wide. Think how long gaming's been going, right? Gaming has been going since the 1970s. Okay? The early 1970s, gaming has been a thing. Do you think if it had just been guns and explosions, it would have lasted this long? No. Wind your neck in, sunshine. Right, what else are we? The Sims is not a real game. Back to what I was saying with Animal Crossing. There's a more advanced version of Animal Crossing. In fact, if anything, it's more complicated. You've got more things to manage. So basically, it's a management game. And if you're going to come and tell some gamers that their football management sim isn't a real game, you're in for a world of hurt, mate. You will get your bum kicked heftily. If not in real, then definitely online. Because football management games are big business. Okay? And here's the kicker. He says Mario is not a real game? Now, okay, I'm not really a Nintendo guy, and I've never really cared for Mario. I've played a couple of Mario games, don't get me wrong. But they've never really gelled for me personally. But Mario is like, you know, the archetypal platformer, and then 3D platformer. I'm sorry, but when I was playing Mario 64, oh my god, are you going to tell me that, like, with your bit about, what's it, like, where was it? I think I've lost the part of the letter now. Where was it? About skill or something. Requires challenge and skill. If you're going to tell me that the ice levels, or trying to beat Koopa, or running around, or chasing, having bombs chase you, and then getting that right moment to jump on the bomb, and all the other various crazy things that happen in almost every single Mario game, like ever, are not challenging and don't require skill, then I want to know what rock you've been living under, mate. I really do. And this is like, and to the charge, to the heinous charge that women are not actual gamers just because they're women. I'm sorry, but there are women on my friends list that, honest to God, they're some of the most accomplished gamers I know. And I tell you an interesting thing I found with women that play video games. They often make, in stuff like The Division and COD and stuff like that, they're often the best snipers you'll ever see. You know why? Because women have to be patient with blokes like you. They've learnt to be patient with empty-headed, hate-filled numpties like you who write letters of this nature. No wonder they've learnt patience. No wonder they're good snipers. You ever wonder why you go into games that are famous for having active chat lobbies and you get met with a lot of silence? Good chances is a lot of those silent gamers are women that game. And you know why? Because they get a bunch of verbal from guys like you that write articles like that. It's not on. It is not on. And people are, oh, fake girl gamer. No, not fake girl gamer, right? Admittedly, there are a small contingent of women on services like Twitch who basically attract that audience, you know, make some money, you know. That's their hustle. That's what they do. I'm not gonna try and knacker it. Hey, this is my hustle. You know, as good as it is at, you know, slightly over 300 subs. But, you know, this is my hustle, that's their hustle. If that's what they want to do, more power to them. The problem isn't them, the problem is the viewer, you know. These guys, they get in there and they see that these young women, you know, may not be as adept a gamer as what they would expect from another type of streamer, but they stay. I know why they stay. Hormones. It's that simple. And can we talk about the term gay girl gamer? Alright? That is horrible. Okay? You know? It just infantilizes women. Alright? You know, it's like these girls. You know? Talking about as if they're children. Right? Now, I've got some women who follow this channel. And I've looked at their profiles because when I get new people who follow me, if if their profiles are available, I have a look to see what my audience is shaping up like, and to kind of get an idea of who I'm talking to, to better sculpt the videos I make for you guys. It's my responsibility as a YouTuber is to try and better understand my audience. And there's a good number of women who, thank you very much, choose to spend their time being part of the Zen fam and watching Zen Bloke. And they're women. They're not girls, okay? They're women that game. How do you like it if you be called a gamer boy? I'm just a gamer. Yeah, so are they. They're just gamers. They just have something different between their legs. That's it. End of story. It's like, they got that, you got the other. That is it. That is the only difference. Now, yes, there may be a couple of cultural differences and some brain biochemical differences, but when you get right down to brass tacks, women that game, guys that game, they're gamers. People that game on PC, people that game on console, gamers. People that game on Xbox, Nintendo, or Sony, gamers. People that game on phones, gamers. Let me tell you something, right? My wife, she's playing a combination right now of, let's see, Candy Crush, The Walking Dead, Jurassic Park, and Pokemon Go. She's still playing Pokemon Go. She's never left it. And I watch these games, and I'm like, huh? How? But, and I don't understand what's going on. It's like, there may be some of you out there who'll be into one type of game or another, and you don't understand what's going on. And as much as I would love to understand esports, I largely don't understand what's going on. Even when something like Tekken, and I used to be obsessed with Tekken, and I hear the way the shoutcasters talk about it, and I don't understand what's going on. So, just because you don't understand doesn't mean it's not good. In fact, if anything, there's a t-shirt like that on my Redbubble store. Okay? Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's not good. Words spoken by suicidal tendencies, man. God, great band. But it's like, can we just not do this to each other? Okay? It is 2019. Okay? We have, at this point, passed by so many dates from so many science fiction movies that were set in the future. Those movies are now technically in our past. Yet we can't get past this. Alright? Women are gamers too. Mobile games are games. Console games are games. PC games are games. AR games are games. VR games are games. Games are games are games are games. End of. Okay? Just end of. Just, could we please just stop tearing at each other? It is bad enough that we've got people tearing at us. I mean, how many times have you been online and seen the meme? It's like, you say to somebody, yeah man, I just spent the weekend with Netflix and chill. I just spent the entire weekend watching movies on Netflix or catching up on a box set. Nobody says anything. You tell somebody you've spent the entire weekend gaming and you'll get looks of, ooh, you spent the weekend gaming. Sado. You know? We get attacked. We don't need to attack each other. Alright? We don't need PC going on. PC elitists. We don't need console guys looking at, console players looking at phone players going, oh, he's just playing on a mobile phone. That's not a real game. You know? It's like, what? So what in your definition is a real game then? It's like, to this letter, this guy doesn't say. Except all he really says is PlayStation. It's like, yeah. So are you trying to say that Xbox is real gaming? Because it is. And just because the Nintendo Switch can be carried about, are you trying to say that's not a games console? And if you love Sony so much, then by your logic, the Vita wasn't a games console, and the Vita was a brilliant console. It was just handled badly. Its marketing was rubbish, and those proprietary memory cards, oh Jesus, oh, not good. But I'm getting straight away from the point. Look, here is the real thing, right? Gamers are gamers, regardless of sex, age, country of origin, sexual orientation, or any other little arbitrary little barrier or divider you want to put in. Right? Doesn't matter. Right? If I'm in a squad, like in the Division 2, which I'm loving right now, if I'm in a squad and I'm needing like healed, or I need suppressing fire so I could loop round and get round the back and get some guys and put a turret behind them and knock them out, if I get the help from a woman that games or a man that games, it doesn't matter. You know what matters? The gaming. The gaming matters. Right? I shouldn't have to say this. This video shouldn't have to be made. And even though as a YouTuber I need content, I personally, me, Zenbloke, will be a damn sight happier the day when this kind of content doesn't need to be made. Because it shouldn't have to be made. Whew, I need a drink. Anyway, you know the drill, guys. Rate, favourite, comment, share, subscribe. And of course, as always, aye, nae bother.